नानां साधुकुलचोरं भजितसेव्यं नवनीतचोरं गोपाङ्गनानां साधुकुलचोरम् अनेकजन्मवितपापचोरं चोराग्रगण्यं पुरुषं नमामि अनेकजन्मवितपापचोरं चोराग्रगण्यं पुरुषं नमामि श्रीराधिकाय हृदयस्य चोरं नवम्बुदशामलकान्तिचोरं श्रीराधिकाय हृदयस्य चोरं नवम्बुदशामलकान्तिचोरं परकृतानां च समस्तचोरं चोराग्रगण्यं पुरुषं नमामि पदाश्रितानां च समस्तचोरं चोराग्रगण्यं पुरुषं नमामि अकिञ्चनीकृत्यं पदाश्रितं या करोति विष्णुं पतिते अकिञ्चनीकृत्य पदाश्रितं या करोति विष्णुं पतिदेवहीनम् येनाप्यहो भीषणचोरविद्रे दुष्टश्रुतो गान जगत्रये येनाप्यहो भीषणचोरविद्रे दुष्टश्रुतो गान जगत्रये यदीयनानाभिहरत्यशेषं गिरिप्रसारान् पापराशि यदीयनानाभिहरत्यशेषं गिरिप्रसारानपि पापराशिम् आश्चर्यरूपो ननु चौरयेद्रे दृष्टश्रुतो वानमया कदापि आश्चर्यरूपो ननु चौरयेद्रे दृष्टश्रुतो वानमया कदापि धनं चमानं यत्तेन्द्रियाणि धनश्च विद्यामं सर्वमेव धनं च मानं च इन्द्रियाणि प्राणं च विद्वामम सर्वमेव पलायसे कुत्र धृतोऽद्यचोरा त्वं भक्तिमां नासि मया निरुद्धो पलायसे कुत्र धृतोऽद्यचोरा त्वं भक्तिमां नासि मया निरुद्धः चिन्नच्छि घोरं यमपाशबन्धनं भिन्नच्छि भीमं भवपाशबन्धनं चिन्नच्छि घोरं यमपाशबन्धनं भिन्नच्छि भीमं भवपाशबन्धनं चिन्नच्छि सर्वस्य समस्तबन्धनं नैवात्मनो भक्ता धृतं तु बन्धनं चिन्नच्छि घोरमपाशबन्धनं भिन्नच्छि भीमं भवपाशबन्धनं भिन्नच्छि घोरं चिन्नच्छि सर्वस्य समस्तबन्धं नैवात्मनो भक्तकृतं तु बन्धनं चिन्नच्छि हे दुःख माये मानसे काम साराशि घोरे तारक हे दुःख माये निबद्ध लभस्व हे चौरं हरे चिराय वचोयदोषोचितुम् एव लभस्व हे चौरं हरे चिराय स्वचौर्यदोषोचितुम् एव दण्डम् कारागृहे वसु सदा हृदये मदीये मद्भक्तिपाश दृढबन्धन निश्चलासन् त्वां कृष्ण हे प्रलयकोटि शतान्तरेऽपि सर्वस्य चोरहृदयान् याहि मोचयामि Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Braje prasiddham navneetachouram Gopangananam chaturkolachoram. हरे नाम संकीर्तन की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल।
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Darsh. That was a lovely kirtan. I'm just going to mute everybody so that I can. Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Dandavad pranams to everyone. Thank you so much for joining. For the fourth consecutive day, we'll be learning about transcendental knowledge today. Let me just bring the screen, the presentation. Mataji, can one of you confirm my voice and also the screen if it's visible?
Yes, Mataji,
Yes.
perfect.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So we will be starting our class as usual with the prayers. And today we will be learning about transcendental knowledge. It's the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And I see that already Mataji, that is both Shobita Mataji, have run through the quizzes for the last few days. And also we had Gaurangi Mataji who has done a quiz. And I'm so happy that all of you have been answering so well. And please revise all our PPTs that we are presenting to you. It's available on the shared drive, which we are sharing it with you on a daily basis. All the PowerPoint presentations are available for devotees. If you wish to, you can log in and view these PowerPoint presentations. This will help you from when you revise many times, you'll know the subject matter better. So please revise all the shlokas and please revise the chapters. And there was one question which was very nicely explained with two PowerPoint slides, that is about Brahman realization and also the Paramatma realization and also the Bhagwan realization, which some of you were fumbling, which means that we need to revisit our slides so that we don't forget what we have learned in our previous chapters. Okay, with this note, keep a paper and a pen handy, make notes, and this way you'll not forget the real essence of the chapters. And we will do a revision also today so that we will be able to remember all our previous classes as well. So let's begin with the Guru Pranam mantras. And while I'm reading, I'm also displaying these mantras so that you can see and sing along with me while you're muted. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातान् सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललित श्रीविशाखावितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा. All of you please raise your hand. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. Let's begin with our chapter summary that we did in the previous dates. So first of all, to begin with, we on the first day, it's for a benefit of all the new devotees who have joined. On our first day, we have seen how Dhritarashtra is viewing the army, and on the second, and also second person who was viewing the army was Duryodhana, who had a different vision how he was viewing the army. And also we had Arjuna who was viewing the army with his own way. Now, what is the mood that we need to submit to the Shastras? We need to have ultimate faith when we are reading scriptures and Shastras. And the most important part in the first chapter about what we are learning today is the um, the Arjuna, how he felt compassion for his relatives, and also he was feeling loss of enjoyment, and also he was feeling that maybe he would have some reactions because of some reactions due to all the actions that he is going to perform. What is the action that he is performing? He is going to be killing his relatives who are on both the sides. Some of them will be killed. So, because of this, he was feeling reactions to those sinful reactions that he was worried about. He was fearing that. And the last one is the destruction of the family tradition, because if the women of the family and the children of the family are not protected, then there would be destruction of family traditions. That's why he was also worried about this. Now, in the second chapter, we saw that he was having an indecision. He was thinking that I think maybe I should not go ahead with this war. And in the second chapter, we saw that, okay, it's kind of jumbled. So in the second chapter, we saw that Krishna is trying to explain how Guru's position is actually defined in the second chapter, and Arjuna realizes the real identity of his soul, and he could identify because he has a soul. He has two dharmas. That is, one is the Swadharma and also the Nitya Dharma. And also we saw how Atma Rama, that is somebody who is in Krishna consciousness, so well protected in Krishna consciousness, how he can become Sthita Prajna. That is, Atma Rama is a person who is so well situated in the Krishna consciousness that he feels nothing can matter for him. The only thing that matters for him is how he can be with Krishna all the times. This is the most important part. With this, yes, one more important thing is that we are going to be, all our teachings are based on His Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He is the founder Acharya of ISKCON, which is International Society for Krishna Consciousness. With this, we will be starting today's chapter. Today's chapter is Transcendental Yoga. Sorry, we'll just do a bit of summary of what we did yesterday. So we saw what is action and what is renunciation. So we saw that as soon as we saw that Arjuna was scared that he would be performing some action and he'll have a reaction to that action, then Arjuna was confused whether I should do action or I should renounce. Renounce means do nothing. So should I perform the action or should I just stop performing action? This was his confusion. That's what we saw yesterday. And we saw various yoga ladders. We saw many yoga ladders. I will be asking questions on the yoga ladders today at the end of the session. And also we saw an excellent example of a self-realized soul. And the last one that we saw is, who is the enemy of the soul? Who is the enemy of the soul? This is very important. You can raise your hand if you know who is the enemy of the soul. Yes, Meera.
Ma'am, I have joined from a different device. I'm Unnati only. Actually, this is some other device. Ma'am, I'm Unnati only.
Okay, Unnati, tell me if you know the answer.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I know the answer. Ma'am, it is Prakriti. Ma'am, they are the three they are the three ladies that control us and they make us do something that we don't want to and something that is wrong.
I think
And
it's
then they
not
are
the right
the
answer.
ma'am, they are the soul of our enemy and like ma'am, they make us do something wrong. Like ma'am, the three ladies that control us. They are the
They
enemy of.
control us, but they are not enemies. They are towards us. They help us also in many ways, so we cannot call them the enemy. Tejumai?
Is the enemy of the mind.
Sorry? Tejumaya?
I think it's lust.
Perfect. So lust is the enemy of the soul. Why? Because when we are in the spiritual world, the complete surrender that we have towards Krishna, which is love that emerges from her heart. Love is coming from our heart. This connection with Krishna is turning into a reflection in the material world, which turns into lust. And this lust becomes the very love that we have towards Krishna, turns into the enemy of the soul, right? This we will learn more why it becomes enemy in this reflection. But for us to understand, the enemy of the soul is lust. That's the answer. Okay, one more thing. We saw yesterday that there are certain places where the lust is going to sit in our body. Where are they? I'm going to lower all our hands and I'm going to ask, where are the places that the lust is sitting in? Akshit?
Ma'am, in our heart.
Heart. No, that's not the right answer. Lalit Kumar?
Ma'am, the lust, which is the soul of the enemy of the soul, just sits inside our body itself, ma'am.
Yes, but which are those places? It hides somewhere in such some places which was defined yesterday. Yoshita, if you remember, you have to tell there was something called as body of the chariot that we had informed yesterday. It was a part of that.
The sense organs,
Perfect. So it sits in the perfect sense organs. What are the other places?
like brain, heart, eyes.
Okay. Not exactly in the brain. That's not correct. But where is it sitting? Is that let me tell it myself because in the interest of time. So, enemy of the soul is sitting in our senses, which are eyes, ears, nose, and the tongue. These are the places it's sitting, and also in our mind, and also in our intelligence. So, these are the places the enemy of the soul is sitting. We need to know this so that how we can curb the enemy of the soul is very important. So, we will learn that today how to do that as well, and also we will see how we can do mind control, which will be coming up in next few chapters.
Yeah, for example, you can talk about tongue.
Yes, just for us, for us to very easily understand. For example, whenever I am seeing a French fries or something, immediately the enemy of the soul, which is lust, immediately allures us that you need to eat this French fries. But eating everything on the street side is not good for our health. What are we supposed to eat? We are supposed to eat only prashadam. That is something that we forget. So the enemy of the soul, lust, tries to allure us. Oh, this is a nice food that we are seeing on the street. But is it good? No, it's contaminated, and also it's not offered to Krishna. It's like we are stealing food without offering to Krishna. So only the food that is offered to Krishna is the one that is supposed to be eaten. If you are not offering to Krishna, you're stealing food from Krishna, which is not correct. We are only thieves. That's what we saw yesterday. Okay, with this, let's go ahead. I'm going to lower all your hands. I have no questions now. I'll ask you once again if there are questions. Thank you very much. So today we will be discussing about these topics. What are they? One is how Krishna's position is the topmost, which I'm sure all of you are wondering. How come Mataji always says Krishna is the topmost God? So we will see how his position is the topmost. Second, we'll see how to apply the transcendental knowledge. So we have something called as transcendental. We will learn the word transcendental. It's a big word and also it has a lovely meaning that we will learn about it. And we will learn what is sacrifice. We saw sacrifice yesterday, but we will see in detail how sacrifices leads to transcendental knowledge. We will see how why all these rishis and munis, why do they do a lot of sacrifices? We should understand why they are doing sacrifices, and that's why we will know today this big secret about how rishis and munis are so nicely organized in transcendental knowledge because of the sacrifices. And next is what is the process of learning this transcendental knowledge? We have so many types of knowledge. We learn math, science, we learn about body, mind, and so many other things that we learn at school. But there is something called as transcendental knowledge and how to go about attaining the process of learning this Vedic knowledge is what we will be learning today. So let's visit what is Vedic knowledge or transcendental knowledge or Divya or divine knowledge is what we will be learning. So the first and the foremost slide comes up with what is transcendental. Mataji is telling there is something called as transcendental. What is that? I want to understand. This sounds like a big new alien word. Let me see what that is. So we have something called as in our second class we saw there is something called as spiritual world and material world. This is another way of representing the same. So what do we have in material world? We know something called as material world. We have like buildings, we have houses, we have nice gardens, and also we have birds, animals, various species, and also there's pollution, there is smoke pollution, sound pollution, and various types of pollutions. Like that, we have something called as a beautiful place where there is always lovely, beautiful birds who are cooperating with each other, and also we have nice gardens, and also where there's a place where there's no duality. We saw how on the in the second chapter and the third chapter we saw that in the material world sometimes I'm very happy, but sometimes I become sad. Sometimes it's winter and I feel very cold, very cold, very cold, and then sometimes it becomes very hot. So these are the dualities that we see in our material world. But there's something which is very nice, Vrindavan, a beautiful place, like a dream world. In this dream world, you will never cry, you will never have any sadness, you will always be sweet with others, and you will never cheat others, you will never hate others. We're always sweet with each other because we have purified our senses. So when you have a strong character, we can go to this place. So we need to build our character to be always truthful to our parents. We should have we should be good with our parents. We should listen to our parents. And in this place, all animals, birds, trees, everyone is so happy in this place. They're all cooperating. They all are like they're all loving each other. They're all loving each other, and also Krishna loves them every Krishna loves every single thing in this place, and he is also playing with us. He plays with everyone in this place. It's one of the most beautiful places that everybody wants to go here. And including all the rishis and munis, they do so many years of penance and sacrifice so that they want to go over there. This is the best place that all of us want to be. And all of you little beautiful children who are nicely listening to this class so that you want to go to this wonderful place so that you can all be always happy. It's always blissful over here. Okay, so let's see how more about this knowledge, how I can go to this place. I feel so tempted that I want to go to this place and happily play with the swans, the birds, the cows, and the trees also, as soon as they see Krishna, they go like that. They bend and give mangoes to Krishna. As soon as when he goes closer to the mango tree, even before he would want to eat, they will bend and say, Krishna, please eat me. I want to be. So like that, they are always happy with Krishna, and also we are always serving Krishna in all the ways that we want to. So let's see how we can go to this beautiful place, and we'll see the process how we can go to this place, and let's get prepared to go to this lovely place. Okay, so, um, okay, so what is transcendental and what is divine? We want to know this. Transcendental or divine is like belonging to divine nature, which is different from material nature that we see. So, what do we see over here? We see a lot of trees and plants, but also apart from trees and plants, we see pollution, we see sound pollution. It's quite noisy sometimes, there is so much traffic. This is the material world, and it's not affected by the happenings of the material nature and material world. So this is a place where it doesn't there is nothing that gets affected with the material nature, and it's not a material world at all. So wherever we are right now, that is, if you see in this picture, we are in this place. We are in this place where there are huge buildings, where there are houses and there are trees, there are birds and trees. but we are all not cooperating so nicely with each other. Sometimes we get angry with nature. Sometimes we get angry. Why do we have plants over here? I want to have roads over here. So these are the kind of things that we have in our mind. But in the place of Goloka Vrindavana, we don't have such demands. We're all happily cooperating with each other. So what does transcendental means? Transcendental nature means it's spiritual and divine nature. Imagine a nature where they're always sweet and cooperating with each other. That's the nature which is transcendental nature. And what is transcendental food? It's spiritual food. So, spiritual food is always very, very, very clean and pure. Now, when I say, okay, my mom also cooks very special and very clean food, but this food is cooked in such a way that everybody wants to eat this. Why? Because this is cooked with love, a lot of love. Even we are trying to cook with sometimes we try to cook with so much love for Krishna, but at least for 10 minutes or 5 minutes, we forget that we are cooking for Krishna. But in this food, spiritual food, it's like you're having 100%, actually, not 100%, 1000%. You have so much love pouring in this food. That is spiritual food, where if Krishna is just touching this food and tasting, it becomes so, 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 so blissful to have a taste of this. It's like that. So, this is transcendental. That is the food which is when you offer to Krishna, it becomes prasadam. When you're eating first time, you don't realize that, oh, this was actually given as prasadam. But if you realize when we take prasadam, automatically we feel, wow, this is so tasty, right? That is transcendental. And what is transcendental work? When you're working, whenever you're working, you're having this consciousness. What is that consciousness? I'm working, but I want to offer all my work to Krishna. When I offer all my work to Krishna, and Krishna will love it, when Krishna gets pleased, that becomes spiritual service. If I'm just thinking I'm working for my own self, why? Okay, my mom has told me to work and I will work. That is nothing but the work of spiritual, I'm sorry, that's the normal work where you may not have 100% satisfaction. But if you say, I want to satisfy Krishna and I want to work for Krishna, then automatically that work becomes very spiritual service, and automatically Krishna becomes happy. When you're giving this service for Krishna with lots of love, Krishna becomes happy and you also become very happy. Next, what do we have? We have transcendental sound vibration. Remember, we just started today with a lovely kirtan by Darsh. That was the sound. That was a song of how Krishna is a very very small boy who is stealing butter, and also he steals something very nice from us. He steals away all our sins. When he steals away all our sins, automatically we get cleansed and we can go to the spiritual world. That is transcendental. And when we hear anything like about Krishna, for example, all of you are listening to the stories of Krishna and also pastimes of Krishna, and also now you're listening to the song of Krishna. Krishna sang this song for us. So we have to listen to this. When we listen to this, it becomes transcendental holy name. We are doing his kirtana, and that's why it is transcendental. So everything and anything, this is the thumb rule. What is the thumb rule? Anything and everything related to Krishna becomes transcendental, divine, spiritual. Okay, so let me ask somebody, um, lower all your hands. What is the thumb rule of understanding something is transcendental or spiritual? Dev.
Miss, ma'am, you asked what is transcendental?
Yes. What is the thumb rule of transcendental?
We should always work for Krishna. Um,
Perfect.
we should.
Anything and everything that is connected to Krishna becomes transcendental. Anyone else wants to say, Bhavika?
Ma'am, everything
Connected to Krishna becomes transcendental or spiritual.
Thank you very much, Bhavika. Thanks a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead next then. Thank you, all of you. Looks like you have understood. Let's go to the next slide. Sure, yeah. So, all of you go to school. When you go to school, um, like to obtain a education, you go to school. Now, whenever we go to school, we can actually study by ourselves, but still we go to school. Why do we go to school? Let me lower hands.
Ma'am, for studying.
You study, but you can study at home also, right? You can pick up any book at home and study, right? So why do you go to school? Let's ask Akshit.
Ma'am, we go to school. Ma'am, we go to school because we get a clear explanation of what we are studying about.
Correct. But let's say your mom also can teach you what exactly is the proper way of understanding.
Ma'am, she might teach what is in the book. She might not teach what is out of the book, right?
Yes, so she may not teach out what is out of the book, but still sometimes she knows something that she might teach you that is out of the book also, right?
Ma'am, sometimes, like
Yes.
not every time, she might teach extra facts and the facts which is
Hare Krishna. Okay, I think we lost Chandra. You have any more points?
Yes, ma'am. So we can get taught about the
no have stage
knowledge
fear.
knowledge from the teachers. We can get knowledge what they studied in their kids' time.
Okay. Any other? That's also correct. But any other points, Shanvita?
Yes, ma'am. So we can get extra knowledge and we can also learn, and it would be interesting for us also.
Okay, it's interesting for us. Very nice. All of you are telling correct, but I'm just trying to ask what are the other points that can come up. Let's ask Shreya.
Teacher, Hare Krishna Mataji. So I think that when we go to school, we learn a lot of values, and when we interact with others, we learn something that is not mentioned in books. Or
Very nice. So we learned something that's not mentioned in the books. Aditya, how else it helps us?
We can enjoy ourselves in the school with our friends.
Okay, you enjoy with your friends. That's very nice. Let's ask Aditya.
Ma'am, to get extra knowledge.
Haribol, you get extra knowledge. Thank you very much. Abha, what else do you get other than knowledge?
Miss, Miss, we get the natural knowledge from Miss. Like
Okay.
Miss thinks out of the box and makes us think out of the box.
I have all the knowledge owing kids over here in my class right now. Yes, very nice. So, when we go to school, we can actually learn from our own parents. But when we go to school, we get the right knowledge. We get the right knowledge from the right place. So, it becomes a place where all the people who have knowledge come together and they frame a particular curriculum and they frame, organize all the subjects together. Like when we are learning from our parents, they'll mix it up. But when it's in the school, we have separate teacher for maths, separate teacher for English, separate for science, separate for social, and they organize the best of the social teachers to make a curriculum. The best of the math will make a curriculum. The best of science, math, everything is like so organized. And also they prepare tests and they prepare exams. So this way, everything is organized and everything is scheduled. Like that, what Krishna did is, in the same way, some time ago when Krishna came down, let's read our first shloka, which is Shri Bhagavanuvacha Imam Vivashvate Yogam Proktavanahamavayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manur Ikshvakave Bhavet. So it's saying, Krishna saying over here that the personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivaswan, and Vivaswan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. So, Krishna himself, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is explaining that me, who is the owner of this knowledge, I have given this knowledge to the first one, that is the sun god. And then the name of the sun god. See, every place, every planet has a name of the god. And currently, the name of the sun god is Vivaswan. And Vivaswan told this knowledge, he instructed it to Manu. Manu is the first person, the first human. He told him all this knowledge. And then further, the father of mankind, that is Manu, got this knowledge. From him, Ikshvaku took this knowledge. So I'm just going to picturize the same. So Bhagavad Gita was spoken to Vivaswan 120 million years ago. Now all of you might argue with me. Mataji, in my school we see that we are just here for only 1100 years, 1500 years, 2000 years, different ages is what we have been informing. But Krishna himself, who is the Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is saying, I told this knowledge 120 million years ago to Vivaswan. And who is Vivaswan? Vivaswan is the sun god. So let's just see how this parampara started. Remember, we started from our school system. The school system is always there, and in that school system, in the same way, Krishna organized a school system, which is he gave this knowledge to Vivaswan, and Vivaswan gave it to Manu. So, like this, the parampara was established. Parampara means the way, the disciplic succession, one after the other. So, we will be learning about that now. What is the shloka? I don't mind if anybody is, if raise your hand only if you know how to recite the shloka. Aditya?
Yes, ma'am. एवं परंपरा प्राप्तम् इमं राजार्षयो विदुः सकालनेः महता योगो नष्टः परन्तप.
Hari bol. Thank you very much. Tejomaya?
एवं परम्परा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः सकाले नेह महता योगो नष्टः परन्तप.
Thank you very much, Tejomaya. Kavin?
एवं परंपरा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः सकाले नेह महता योगो नष्टः परन्तप.
Thank you. Arman?
एवं परम्परा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदु सकालेन महता योगो नष्टा परन्तप.
Hari bol. Thank you very much, Arman. So, here we see that Krishna is saying, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nashtah parantapa. Parantapa, he is saying. Why is he saying this? This supreme science was received through chain of disciplic succession. Now, how do we imagine this? See, Krishna is there, and the next person in the chain is we have sun god, and we heard the sun god, the name of the sun god we just heard previously. Can you tell me the name of the sun god? Who knows the name of the sun god? Aditya? Kanishka?
Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
wish.
Sorry?
Actually, I heard now only, ma'am, but I forgot.
Yeah, no problem. Vihas? What's the name of the sun god? Soumya Singh?
Yes, teacher. The name of the sun god is Viviswan.
Hari Bol, thank you very much. So, the name of the sun god is Vivaswan. So, Krishna gave this knowledge to Vivaswan, and Vivaswan, the sun god, gave it to Manu, who is the father of the mankind, and also father of the mankind Manu gave this knowledge to Ikshwaku. Does anybody remember who is coming from Ikshwaku? Who is actually the there is a king that who famous king that we know of who's coming from Ikshwaku. Who is it? Let's ask Swati iPad. I don't know if she's able to unmute. Samyukta.
Lord Rama.
Perfect. So Sri Ramachandra is actually coming from the Ikshwaku dynasty, and so this way the knowledge was passed on over and over again. So what is Krishna saying over here? Krishna is saying the supreme science. What is that science? About the how to use this body, the Bhagavad Gita, was thus received through disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood in that way. Who understood it? The kings. Who are the kings? They are the saint and also king. So why are they saintly? Because they are practicing Krishna consciousness. If they were not practicing Krishna consciousness, they cannot be saints. One can become a saint only if you are practicing Krishna consciousness. So these saintly kings practiced it, and in the course of time the succession was broken. So it came to Manu, and then Ikshwaku, and then to Lord Ram, and then it went on like that. But then he's saying while it was going from one king to another king, maybe sometimes because the human life becomes contaminated, there is a possibility that these saintly kings might have done some error, and it is therefore lost. So in the course of time, this knowledge is lost. So the disciplic succession in the course of time is lost, is what Krishna is saying. So Krishna is explaining in this shloka, I had established a school, but the school sometimes the teachers might forget the knowledge. Like that, he's saying, I had established a school, but in that sometimes some knowledge is lost. Like that, in this time also, the some kings I had told them after some time the this particular knowledge was lost. Next, so let us see what is the second kind of school that Krishna had formed. He had formed two types of schools. One is telling the saintly kings. He had told the kings, okay, I'm giving you this knowledge, you take care. He told this knowledge to another people. Who are they? So the origin of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gave this knowledge also to Lord Brahmaji, and also he gave to Lakshmi Maya, and also he gave it to Lord Shiva, and also he gave it to four Kumaras. And in these are the most authorized paramparas. That's why the other day some children were asking, Mataji, can I get this book from anywhere and study? No, you cannot get a Bhagavad Gita book from any place and every place and start studying, because some of them may just write it as a story. But Bhagavad Gita is not a story. Bhagavad Gita is a song of God coming from Krishna himself. How can I make errors in that? No, we should not. We should take it only from our gurus. And who are those gurus? There are four types of schools in this knowledge. Krishna established four schools. What are the four schools he established? One is Brahma Ji and Brahma Madhva Charya. That is the parampara that we are into right now. That is, we are right now, His Grace Namanishta Prabhu, that is from temple, which is Mangaluru temple, ISKCON temple is coming from Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. This is the Sampradaya that we belong to. But there are three more Sampradayas, and the Acharya for Lakshmi Sampradaya, Sri Lakshmi Sampradaya or Sri Sampradaya is Ramanujacharya. And also Lord Shiva is called as the Acharya for this Sampradaya is Vishnu Swami. And the Acharya for four Kumaras is Nimbakacharya. So these are the main acharyas for these sampradayas who are following these disciplic succession. So these are the four schools that Krishna has established. If we are taking the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, anywhere outside from these schools, then we will not be learning in the proper way. We will be learning very incorrect information. So we should always follow the Sampradaya. Now, what do we have in Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, which I am attending the class now? Mataji, I'm already attending your class. I want to know how do I receive, who is the acharyas in this disciplic succession, you may ask. For that, you remember, we say that every time we start the class from giving our obeisances or our prayers to Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and his own Acharya is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, and his Acharya is Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaja, and also his own Acharya or his own guru is Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakura, and then we have Gaur Kishore, sorry, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaja. Like that, it goes on and on and on. We have Srila Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and it goes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. So this was re-established by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and also the Nityananda Prabhu who came. Who are they? So Krishna himself came down, and he came down in the form of Srimati Radharani, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and also Nityananda Prabhu, who is Balramji. So this is our school that we are referring over here. This is where we need to take the knowledge. And if you are taking the knowledge anywhere outside this school, then you will not be having correct information. So when we see all the serials on the TV, when we see any kind of small cartoons on the TV, you might have seen a different story, but that's not the correct information. You should read books written by these acharyas, then it is the correct knowledge. Next, uh, whom do you share your secrets? I want to know. So, what do you understand? Let me lower all your hands and see. Um, when you're telling secrets, who do you tell all your secrets? Manasvi.
With parents.
Perfect. You share your knowledge or share your secrets with parents. Perfect. Hitashvi.
Ma'am, best friend.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Arnav. Any other answers?
Ma'am, my mother.
Mom, very nice. Kanishka.
Ma'am, to God.
Wow, we have somebody who shares with Krishna as well. Hari Bol, very nice. Yes, you have to share your secrets with Krishna as well. Veda.
Mataji, we think that we are saying the secret only to the best friend and the parents or someone, ma'am. Mataji, but still God is listening to all our secrets and
Hari
whatever we do.
Harry Bol, very nice, Veda. So here we learned that we tell all the secrets that we have to our best friends, or we are thinking that we are sharing this knowledge to somebody who we know very well, and that's like you trust them very nicely. And who are the ones you share it with your parents or with your best friends and your sisters and brothers? These are the people that you will share your knowledge. Like that, here we should know why Krishna chose Arjuna, right? You might ask, oh, I actually Krishna today could have told this to anybody else. Why did he tell this to Arjuna? So here is the secret. The secret is you'll also tell all your knowledge only to your best friends. Like that, Krishna also gave this knowledge to Arjuna. And Arjuna, so nicely, he's asking questions so that you and me and every one of us can benefit with this Bhagavad Gita. So that is very ancient science of relationship with the Supreme is today told me to you because you are my devotee as well as my friend and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of science. So Krishna is saying that I want you to know that you're my best friend and that's why I'm giving you this knowledge because you're my very dear devotee. When can you become a good devotee? How can you become a good devotee? Can any one of you, you can tell me how you can become good devotee? Shreya.
And we can become a good devotee by becoming the Lord Krishna's friend and telling talking to them.
Haribol, thank you very much. That's so sweet that you are all telling that you want to be telling him, sharing him all the secrets. Very nice. How do you share secrets? Who would like to say how do you share secrets? Devashree?
Ma'am, you share your secrets by trusting others, people.
Haribol, you need to trust other people like you'll trust Krishna and you'll share your secrets. And how do you talk to Krishna? I know you're telling that you should trust, but how will you talk to Krishna?
You should chant.
Haribol, yes. When you chant and when you're chanting, you're talking to Krishna. You're connecting with Krishna. That's very nice. I'm having all smart kids today, all smart answers I'm finding today. And Vihas, how do you talk to Krishna?
I talk by chanting.
Haribol, you also chant. How many rounds do you chant? Okay, you muted. Arav, how do you talk to Krishna?
By praying.
By praying. This is another way of talking to Krishna. Haribol. Thank you. What are the other methods of talking to Krishna? Nrushal.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the other methods we can talk to Krishna is we can go to a secret place where nobody knows and we can go talk to Krishna.
Haribol. So you have made a secret place to talk to Krishna. This is another way of talking to Krishna. Very nice. So you don't want anybody to hear your secrets. You want only Krishna to know. Very nice.
Yes, ma'am.
Last, we'll take one more. Veda. Veda Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Whatever we talk is not, we cannot directly talk to Krishna, but whatever we talk, he knows, Mataji.
Yes, he's the one who can steal away all our sins and he can see and view what we are doing all the times. So even if I'm telling to others, he'll secretly hear all our talks, isn't it? So this
Yes,
way, Krishna knows everything that we are doing. We are thinking maybe I don't think Krishna knows. If we are closing our eyes and doing something, also Krishna is always watching us. So this way, Arjuna is the greatest devotee of Krishna, and Arjuna is actually a friend of Krishna. So, how can I become a friend of Krishna? I can become a friend of Krishna by following all these devotees who just told I go to a secret place. I offer prayers to Krishna and I offer nice, sweet, I always chant with Krishna. So, this is how we can tell all our secrets to Krishna and we can become a great friend of Krishna so that Krishna will bless us and gives us his Kripa Drishti. All of us want to be with Krishna, right? Krishna has the best world. He's sitting in the spiritual world as inviting, come on everybody, come home, please come home. He's giving all the secrets. Saying, come over, I'm giving you Bhagavad Gita, all of you please come home. All of us can have nice fun over here. He's calling us with so much love. When he's calling us with so much love, we should say, okay, I want to go to Krishna's world and I want to have lots of fun. Where there is no tears, where there is no school, there's no homework, there is no school, nothing. All I need to do is have fun with Krishna. So let's see what are the qualities. Qualities required to understand Bhagavad Gita is we need to be a great friend of Krishna. We should trust Krishna and we should trust the Shastras that we are reading today is Bhagavad Gita. Now, let's understand this slide. So there are many yugas. Now you might have already heard that in the current yuga, Kali Yuga, we chant. Kali Yuga is where we chant. That's the speciality of this yuga that Krishna told. In this yuga, it's very difficult to perform any kind of other activities. The easiest is to perform chanting. So let's take a look at this picture. The in Satya Yuga, which is written in silver over here, is actually the golden age. Why is it golden age? Because in this age, everyone is so pure minded. Many people, if they even if they are living for they are actually many of them, as in the age in this yuga is 1 lakh years. So usually people in this Satya Yuga live for 1 lakh years. And even if they are living for 1 lakh years, almost 60 to 70,000 of years they are sitting and doing penances. What is a penance? They sit and do dhyana. So that's how they spend their time during this age. And in Treta Yuga, human beings lived for 10,000 years. You see the small silver ones over here? People lived for 10,000 years. And this is the age where people did the yagna. Remember, we saw yesterday they did yagna during this time. And during Dwapara Yuga, that is when Krishna was there, which is called as Bronze Age, people lived for 1,000 years. And the last and the one that we are into is we live only for 100 years. And this is called as Kali Yuga. So we saw yesterday some children were asking, Mataji, what happens after Kali Yuga? So here is the answer. So it's saying after Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga comes, and then Dwapara, then Kali, and then Dwapara, Treta, and then again it goes back to Satya Yuga. So it's a cycle. What is the cycle? Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali, Dwapara, Treta, Satya. Like that. Okay. And we've also got the number of years which lasts. It's a huge number for all of you to remember. If you want to, you can make a note of it. But the most important part is what is the lifespan in these yugas. That's the one that is most important. So, Bhagavad Gita came to earth 2 million years ago, right? Actually, Krishna gave this manual, that is the book Bhagavad Gita, which is like a rule book to this world, that is earth, 2 million years ago. And people lived at different ages at different times. So these are the 4 yugas, and you can remember this. Now, Krishna is saying that these are the yugas, and Krishna told that, okay, I gave this knowledge to you, and Krishna is saying that I also gave this knowledge to Vivaswan. Vivaswan is sun god. So Arjuna got a question. Wait a minute, you're saying that the sun god Vivaswan is. How did you give this knowledge to sun god when Vivaswan is senior by birth to you? How am I to understand this in the beginning? You're instructed this science to him. So Arjuna is saying, okay, you're saying that you gave this knowledge to sun god, but you were born with me. You and me, we were born together. And also, I remember when we were small, we used to play in the swing, we used to have nice fun with each other. You were small baby, along with me I was also small baby. Like, how did you give this knowledge to sun god? Were you born before this? Is the question that Arjuna is asking. So, but how did this happen, as we both were born in the Dwapara Yuga? So Arjuna is asking, why are we, how can you be born before? So he's asking, what is the secret behind how could you be born before? He's asking. So here Arjuna, for Arjuna's question, Krishna is responding. The personality of Godhead said, many, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot. O subduer of the enemy. He's saying, Arjuna, you're a jiva. You're unable to recall all that has happened in the previous births. But I remember everything. So we will be thinking, for example, okay, how is it possible that Krishna is able to remember and I don't remember? Is Arjuna's confusion. For example, let's ask people over here. Do you remember what you ate? Okay, 1 second. Shreya, do you remember what you ate yesterday? What did you eat yesterday, Shreya? Supriya, what did you eat yesterday?
Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
actually I cannot remember, but ma'am, I have a small doubt. Actually, I have been disconnected in the first one.
Mhm.
So can you please explain it in the last?
The first slide.
Yes, first slide.
Okay,
Not
this
in the
time.
first like poem.
Yeah, I will. The first look, I will try to recite. So this is why. So Supriya is telling she doesn't remember. Let's ask Vihas. Do you remember what you ate yesterday?
Yes, ma'am. The tiffin I ate is dosa.
Haribol, what did you eat day before yesterday?
I don't remember, ma'am.
Yes. See, we are all jivas and we don't remember what we have eaten yesterday or day before yesterday. But Krishna remembers everything. He remembers what he did 10 births ago. And not only he remembers what he did 10 births ago, he remembers the number of hair we have, the number of teeth we have. He remembers when our teeth fell. He remembers each and every detail of ours. He's such a good friend who's sitting inside our heart. He's noticing each and everything that's happening to us, and also he's noticing each and everything that all of us are doing together, and all the reactions and everything he knows. So this is how Krishna is the Param Purusha. We are all small. So let's see what are the qualities that Krishna has. We will see how many qualities Krishna has in future. Okay. So how does Krishna appear? Krishna is saying that although I am unborn, my transcendental body never deteriorates. And although I am Lord of all living entities, I still appear every millennia in my original transcendental form. So here, lovely Krishna has appeared in my Ma Devaki's womb, and when he appeared, appeared in four-handed form. And then Mother Devaki, she requested, please, can you go back to your two-handed form, because if the moment Krishna sees, Kamsa is finding you here, he will kill you. Please go back to your two-handed form, baby form, he said. She said, and then he comes back to the two-handed form. So here he's saying, I appear every millennia in my original transcendental form. It's called Satchidananda body. What is that spiritual body? Satchidananda body means he is Sat means it's always eternal. Chit means it's knowledge. He has all the knowledge. Remember, I told you he knows how many hair we have, how many teeth, when did our teeth fall, how many years, what happened. All of this he remembers. So he is full of knowledge. And also he's always happy. He's Ananda. He's always happy. He's never sad. So he's always happy. So this is how Krishna is called as eternal, and that's why Krishna is called as, if you remember, in Brahma Samhita we see Govindamadi Purusham. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So here we see that in Brahma Samhita Lord Brahmaji saying Krishna is the Adi Purusham. He is saying to us. And also Krishna is unborn. Although he is born in Ma Devaki's womb, he is actually unborn, but still he comes down to this earth to save all his devotees. So he is Janmadasya. Janmadasya means he has no birth. So he is the Adi Purusha. So another question to all of you. When you are in trouble, who helps you? Let's lower all hands. When you're in trouble, who helps you? Mishika.
Ma'am, God helps us.
God helps us. Haribol, you're taking the biggest shelter. What else? Who else do you take shelter? Let's ask Hriday.
My parents.
Very nice. So we trust our parents. So when we are in trouble, we call our parents. Um, let's ask Joshi.
Ma'am, I take my parents' help, but if it's in school or something, I sometimes takes my teacher's help or my friend's help. I think so.
Haribol. So you trust so you take help from somebody who you trust. And most of the times, the only people who come to rescue is the Supreme Lord, and next to Supreme Lord you have your mom and dad who become Superman and Superwoman, and they want to protect you all the time. So they are the one who is always with you to protect you for all the things that you do in case you're in trouble. Like that, Krishna also comes down to this world. Like the superhero, he comes down to protect his devotees. So Krishna is saying, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. So wherever there is decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise in irreligion, at that time I descend myself. So he's saying over here that look over here the Kams Maharaj is actually troubling his own sister. He's troubling his own sister to kill her because there was a Akashvani that there will be somebody born to your sister and that person will kill you. The moment Kams Maharaj heard this, he thought this is time. He had become so intolerable for all the kingdom people that he was troubling the entire place. And not only he was troubling the entire place, he was troubling the three worlds and also he was troubling his own sister now to kill her. Why? Because he thinks that the child who will be born will kill him. He wanted to be permanently living on this planet forever. He doesn't want to leave to go anywhere. He wants to live here forever. Is it possible? No. Whoever is born has to die. We saw how the soul is eternal, but the body that we have got in this world has to be perishing eventually. So that's why whenever we are in trouble, our parents help us, but at the same time, like a superhero, Krishna also comes down to protect his devotees. So, what are the three things why he comes? He says, whenever there is a decline in religious practice. So when we declare when there is no when people are not following the rules, he has given a rule book. When people don't follow rules and all of them try to override the rules, he comes down. And O descendant of Bharata, when there's predominant rise in religion, so when people are predominant rise in irreligion, when people completely reject the religion and they start doing all the bad things, then Krishna says, I myself come down. So these are his activities. Next, let's see. So, apart from killing Kamsa, what else did Krishna do? He's saying, what are the other reasons why he's coming down? He's saying, why does Krishna appear? There's one more reason. He's also saying, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So he's saying, this is a very famous verse. All of you have to know this. So why does Krishna come? What are his activities? And why does he appear all the time? So he is saying, to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re establish principles of religion. I myself appear millennium after millennium. So, I want you to tell me what are the three reasons he comes. But before that, let me tell this. Yeah, okay, you can tell me what are the three reasons. Let me lower all hands. Yeah, one reason. Each person will say one reason. Bhavika, call out. Bhavika, Arman.
He comes down to annihilate the miscreants, to reestablish dharma. He comes down whenever dharma is not being followed, to protect the devotees.
Thank you very much. So he comes down for three reasons. Thanks you very much, Arman. Can anyone else repeat it? Let's ask David. Yeah, Akshat.
Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, I wanted to tell that from a long time, ma'am. You asked why do we go to school, ma'am? Ma'am, because the teachers teach us how to be punctual and respect others and cooperate with others.
Haribol, that's very nice. Yes. So Krishna has also established a school so that we can follow some good practices. He's telling you need to do these things so that you can come back to me. He's given a rule book how to go back to spiritual world. So does anyone else want to see what are the three reasons why he comes down?
Ma'am, can I?
Yeah.
Ma'am, re-establish the principles of religion, deliver the
Pious?
pious, and thin hell the miscreants.
Annihilate the miscreants. Means he's trying to kill the miscreants. Who are the miscreants? In this case, we have somebody who is Kamsa. Kamsa Maharaj was killing his own sister. So that's a miscreant. Means the bad people. To easily understand, he is coming because his devotees are calling him to deliver the pious. His devotees are calling him and annihilate the miscreants to kill all those bad people. And third one, to establish religion. So why does Krishna has to come down to establish religion? We should follow religion on our own. That is the best way. Let us all follow good practices, whether others are seeing or not. You should not lie to your mom and dad. You should be good people. You should not cheat others. You should not have bad habits. How nicely all of you are listening to Bhagavad Gita. This is how you need to spend good times. So let's see what next we have. Um, Here we see that what is the benefit of attaining this knowledge. Let's lower hands and ask, what is the use of getting this knowledge? Let's ask. Kaushal? Sorry. Um, mm. Thava? Shreshta Tava.
We can get new jobs, awards, and still more great education.
Hari Bol, yes. Anything else?
Our children's not to do bad, no, only to do good things.
Only to do good things. Correct. Thank you. Pratham. Pratham?
Because we should apply what we learned in school in real life.
Haribol, yes, we should apply what we have learnt at school. So, also, anything else, Nisha? What is the benefit of attaining this knowledge? Okay, let's move ahead. So, the benefit of attaining this knowledge is we will be able to get awards and we will be able to get knowledge and degree and we will be able to get good jobs, right? So, this is how we are able to award ourselves if we are studying good, studying well in our schools. But what is the point in me studying these scriptures? Mataji, you're making me sit and study Bhagavad Gita. What is the benefit of me learning this? What is the benefit of me practicing Bhagavad Gita? See, you cannot just listen to Bhagavad Gita and then not practice it. This is a practical thing that we need to apply. If you're not applying, what is the point? So that's why you need to hear this knowledge and apply in your daily basis that I will not lie to anybody. I will not cheat others. I will always listen to Krishna. I will always hear Krishna's pastimes. I will always hear Krishna's stories. This is how you need to think. But what is the point, Mataji? If I'm doing all of this, what is the reason I should be doing? You should ask, what is the benefit of all this? Here is the benefit. Krishna is saying that Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjana. So he's saying one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not upon leaving the body take his birth again in this material world but attains my eternal abode. Oh, Arjuna, he's saying this is the big star that we are going to get. So, if you are listening to Krishna all the time, and if you're hearing about Krishna Katha, and if you're learning about Bhagavad Gita, and if you're implementing Bhagavad Gita stories or Bhagavad Gita learnings, that is the tattva, if you're able to apply in your daily life by not lying and following good practices, then we can go to Goloka Vrindavana. So this is a big benefit. So all of us can go to Krishna's world where it's always a happy place. It's always eternally happy. We're always having full of knowledge and always We can play with Krishna, and Krishna will be, we can run around and play in the Vrindavana. They're the most beautiful gardens, right? And it's so opulent there. So this is the benefit of learning about Bhagavad Gita. So he's saying, does not upon leaving the body take his birth again. So the first benefit is, we will not go through this birth, death, birth, death, birth, death cycle will be lost. We will be moving out of this birth, death cycle. Next, we will attain to the eternal abode. So there are two benefits. One, I won't have life, birth and death. Second, I will reach Krishna's planet. Can one of you repeat what I just said? Santosh.
If we don't lie and if we can go to Krishna's abode, and if we don't have to take birth and death again and again.
Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Sohan,
Yes, ma'am.
what is the benefit of learning and hearing and Krishna Katha and everything? What is the benefit of this?
We do not need to take birth again, and also, but also this also takes us eternally abode, which means that we will permanently be with Krishna again. Will not take birth.
Hari Bol. Thank you very much,
Ma'am, I
Sohan.
have a small doubt.
Uh-huh.
Ma'am, in this thing that we won't remember our past lives. We have discussed, no, ma'am, but we see some people who remember their past lives. Means, can they also be considered as jivas?
They remember because Krishna sometimes makes them remember. Do you think they can remember on their own? No. Krishna is saying in one of the chapters, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. He's saying, I am the one who's giving remembrance knowledge. So he sometimes gives this knowledge to them that they remember certain things. There are certain reasons why he does that, right? So there are certain exceptions that can happen. Okay, let's go to the next one. So let us see what is the difference between us and Krishna. So the difference is that Krishna is eternal. He remembers everything. And because he remembers everything, he is called as Achyuta. And that's why, but then us, we are not eternal. We forget our past. We didn't even remember our breakfast. We had two devotees just now when we asked, do you remember your breakfast yesterday? They said, no. Another one said, I still remember dosa, but the previous day, no. He doesn't remember either. So like that, we don't remember, but he remembers every detail. And difference between Krishna and second difference is appears in his Sachidananda form. So when he takes birth, he always takes birth in his same form. His body, someone is not muted. Sohan, can you please mute yourself? Let's do that. Yeah. So, when Krishna is appearing in this world, he is Sachidananda. He is always coming down in his in his form, which is his body and his form has no difference. But when we appear, we are in this temporary material body. We are Anu and he is Vibhu. So we are his parts and parcel. But when Krishna appears in this material world, he comes in his own body. But I need a material body. But Krishna doesn't need a material body. His spiritual body can come here or go anywhere. But our spiritual body is lost when we come out here. We always have our material body. We lose our material body and spiritual body when we come down to material world. And next, what we have, another difference that we have is he appears by his own sweet will. If Krishna thinks I want to go down to the material world, he can appear anytime. But we cannot appear whenever we want to. If I want to be in the fish body, maybe I should be wishing for it and willing for it, and then I should deserve it. There are so many ifs and buts. So I need to deserve to be a fish, or I need to deserve to be a flamingo, or I need to be doing certain deeds, and I should be willing to do that. So Mahamaya is always on us. Even if I want to be something, I cannot. And at the same time, if I think, I don't like to be born where I am right now, maybe I want to be born in the Disney world. No, I cannot have such choices. It has to be Krishna. Maybe I don't want to be born here, I want to be born in Chandraloka. No, it's not possible. So it's like you need to have good deeds, and then if you're wishing, maybe it's possible, but otherwise you cannot. But Krishna, he can go to Indraloka, Chandraloka, wherever he wants to, he can go. That's a difference. That's a big difference. Next one is he is the controller of Mahamaya. But remember yesterday we saw we are controlled by Mahamaya. We are played by Mahamaya. So we have these three ladies. Who are they? They are goodness, ignorance, and passion. So their goodness, ignorance, and passion. We are always been played by the goodness, ignorance, and passion. These are the material nature. Mahamaya plays with us. But Krishna, that is Mahamaya, takes the orders of Krishna. So this is Durga Devi, and Mahamaya is actually working under the guidance of Durga Devi.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm Sohan. I have a small doubt.
Can we ask after the class, please? We're completing the class in another 5 minutes and we can take the questions.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you very much. Um, yeah, we're done with the slide. So, no difference between the body and selves. So, Krishna's body, Krishna's name, Krishna's form, Krishna's pastimes, everything is in him itself. But in our case, we are living in the soul, which is actually it acquires as an external body, and it has gross and subtle bodies. So we will see this in future also, that on our soul there is a covering of a gross body and there is a covering of our subtle body. So there are two coverings. One is a gross covering and subtle covering. We will see that in future. So but then Krishna, he comes in his Sachidananda form. There is no covering of anything that is required for him. Next one. Krishna is saying, has anybody in the history able to know you, Krishna? Arjuna is asking. Arjuna is asking, has anybody known you, Krishna? So he's saying, Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha Manmaya Mamupashritah Bahavo Jnana Tapasa Putamadbhavamangatah. So he's saying, being freed from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me, taking refuge, many persons in the past become purified by knowledge of me, and thus they have attained the transcendental love of me. Sorry about this heading, it's not correct. So the question over here is, they're saying being freed from attachment. They're saying, how can you attain the transcendental love? Krishna is saying, being freed from fear, anger, and fully absorbed in me, taking refuge in me, many persons become purified of knowledge, and thus they attain my transcendental love for me. So Krishna is explaining how we can attain Krishna's love, how we can attain Krishna's abode. The way we can attain Krishna's abode is we need to be freed from attachments. What are our attachments? Our attachments is, I want to be on my mobile phone playing all the time. I want to be playing games. I want to go to the park and play all the time. So even if you're playing, you should not be getting attached. And also, there are certain foods that we get so attached to. Those are our attachments. So Krishna is saying, don't have these attachments. Rather, become attached to me. Krishna is saying directly, just get attached to me, and you can take refuge in me. And by doing this, you will get the knowledge. Krishna will give the knowledge that's required. In case of Dhruv Maharaj, I have not put this picture over here. So I'll give a very short story where Dhruv Maharaj, he did a penance for 6 months. So after doing the penance for 6 months, the moment he touched Dhruv Maharaj, immediately he got the knowledge. He got the knowledge how to pray Krishna. As soon as he saw Krishna, he's like, how do I pray Krishna? I don't even know how to pray you. I don't even know how to praise you. Please help me, he said. The moment he touched Dhruv Maharaj, immediately he got the knowledge of how he can pray Krishna. So like this, if we are able to take refuge in Krishna, many persons in the past have got purified. So we can become pure and clean. We should make an effort on a daily basis to be very good character. How? We should not lie. We should always take instructions from our parents. We should take instructions from our guru. We should read books and read scriptures. We should always we should always be in a good mood of not hurting anybody, not cheating others, not making others get angry, should not aggravate others, and study well. So these are the things that Krishna is saying. Study as in study scriptures. Okay. Next, so to explain further, what is the result of understanding the transcendental knowledge? We get to go to Golaka Vrindavana. So attachments are raga. Negligence of spiritual life means if you are getting attached to anything in this material world, you will not be spiritually progressing. You should not get attached to this material world like ice creams and so many attachments that we may have. We should not get attached like that. Rather, we should get attached to Krishna. Someone's actually making noise. Let me mute them. Okay. Next is fear of personal spiritual identity. So some people have fear of spiritual identity. They may think that, oh, maybe people will call me, I become a bhakta. These are all not required. And also you should not have anger, we should not get frustrated or hopelessness, like we should not make others get angry, we should be good with others, we should not make others feel frustrated. This is all not good things. So, do all the paths go to same Krishna? That's the next question. For example, want to go to different cities. Let's say I want to go to Hyderabad and then go to Mumbai and also want to go to somewhere else. Do you think all the path can go to same destination? No. If I'm taking a road from, let's say I'm starting from Mumbai, if I'm going to Hyderabad, it can only go to Hyderabad. It cannot go to Delhi, right? It cannot go to different locations. When I'm taking one path, if I'm going to Mumbai, it can only go there. It cannot go to Hyderabad or some other place, right? So all the paths cannot lead to one direction. It can lead to whatever path we take can go to only one direction. So like that, Krishna is resolving the question over here. Arjuna had a doubt, do all the paths go to you, Krishna? He's asking. So Arjuna said, do all the paths go to same destination? No. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. Mama vartamanu vartante manushyaha partha sarvashaha. So Krishna is saying, all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. So Krishna is saying, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Some of them, they say, I want to surrender fully. Then you will go to Goloka Vrindavana. In this picture, some of them, they want to become a great artist. That's how they want to pray Krishna. So they will go to a different destination. Some of them, they think, I can't really become a very great devotee of Krishna, but I can focus on the Brahman. So they go to the Brahman realization. Some of them, they go to this Himalayas, they sit there, meditate for more than 1 lakh years. That's when they'll go to again, no, they'll have a Paramatma realization. They'll think, they'll meditate on Paramatma. They go to Paramatma, which is Vaikuntha planets. And some of them, I want to earn a lot of money and then give it to Krishna. So if you're earning a lot of money and giving it to Krishna, that becomes again karma yoga. If you're performing karma yoga, accordingly Krishna also will reciprocate. This is what we have to understand. So if I fully surrender to Krishna, Krishna will give me Goloka Vrindavana. But if you are not fully surrendering, there are other destinations in Krishna Loka, and according to that we go to other places. So now we saw that we got an example of a school. So here, who is the boss in your school? I can unmute one of them. You can say who is the boss in your school. Pratham. Nitin.
My principal, Mataji.
Sorry.
My principal.
Hari bol. Very nice. Yes. So principal is the boss of the school. So here in the same way, all the demigods have different forms of the Lord. So Krishna is saying, are all the demigods different forms of the Lord? For some people think, Krishna is only Indra, Krishna is only Chandra, Krishna is only... No, not like that. Actually, men in this world desire success in fruitive activities and therefore they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men get results from fruitive work in this world. But why demigod worship? Strong material desires to fulfill wants immediately. So when you pray Krishna directly, Krishna also gives that things, but he will purify you first. But if you're praying to the demigods, let's say, I know that I want to have a lot of money today and I will pray to the Lord Lakshmi. She will give you a lot of money, but they will not purify you. And somebody who wants like sunshine, like they want to have a lot of, let's say they want to have great rains, they want rain god to be happy, then they will pray to Lord Indra. Then Lord Indra will give you a lot of rains, and then you'll have very nice grains that will be in your garden, and you will be able to get a lot of grains in your garden. But Krishna knows how much you want, and Krishna knows how much you want to take and how much is required for you. If you take more in this world, you'll again suffer in this world. We don't want to suffer, rather, we want to go to Krishna's planet. How to understand this? So here we see that our parents, when we are taking ice cream, sorry, here how to understand Mataji, that you're saying that we should always go to Krishna for everything. If you're going to a shopkeeper, they will easily give you ice cream. But if you're going to your parents, they will say, ice cream is not good for your tooth. Rather, you can eat nice fruits and vegetables, and they'll give you the same sweets in the good form. Like that, we should always trust parents. Like that, we should always trust Krishna. And last, Supreme Lord versus demigod. So, are both equal? Demigods are parts and parcels of the Lord, and they are the complete whole. Demigods, that is Devtas, living entities with material powers. So, actually, Devtas are also taking the instructions from Krishna, and Krishna is the one who is telling, okay, you can give this. So, he's approving all of this. Through his approval, they're giving it. So, we should not go to them. Rather, we can go directly to Krishna. So Vishnu or Narayana are in the spiritual world, and they are different expansions of Krishna. So Vishnu and Narayana are same, no problem. You can go to Vishnu, Krishna, or Narayana. But when you go to the Devatas, they're actually taking instructions from Krishna. So some of them, but why do demigods, why people worship demigods? Because mad of temporary things and not interested in Krishna consciousness. Some people, they don't want to directly pray to Krishna because they don't know Krishna. Some of them they think everybody is same. Some of them, they don't want to accept that Krishna is the supreme. So because of all this misinformation, they can't pray Krishna. So there is also one more thing, is we have Varnashrama. It's saying Chaturvarnyam maya shrishtam gunakarma vibhagashah tasya kartaram apimam vidhi akritaram avyayam. So it's saying, according to the three modes of material nature and with work associated with it, divisions of human society are created by me, and although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer and being unchangeable. Krishna is saying, for you to come back to the world, that is Krishna's world, I have made four systems. What are those four systems? There are Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. I have made these four things, four Varnashramas. You take shelter in any one of them. By working under the instruction of a guru, you can be a Brahmana or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or a Shudra, and follow the regulative principles, and you can come to me. Next, Varnashrama system. How does it work? You should do your prescribed duties and you should purify yourself. What is the criteria of this division? The criteria is you are doing according to your guna and karma. What is Krishna's position? It is above the whole system. So all of these people actually worship Krishna only. Why did Lord create Varnashrama? So that we can elevate our animal status and go back to Krishna. And wait, did Krishna also followed these acts when he was in this material world? He had performed his prescribed duties of, he was being in a Vaishya, like he was taking care of the cows, and also as a charioteer, he had also taken care as a charioteer, and also he had washed feet of Sudhama, and also so in this way Krishna also had followed the rules. And here it states, Krishna states, Na mam karmani limpanti, na me karma phale spraha, iti mam yo bhajanti, karma bhirna bhadyate. So it's saying there is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire to work in action. So Lord is aloof from the material actions and reactions. So in this shloka, Krishna is saying, although it's all required for all of you to follow the rules, Krishna himself doesn't have to follow, but still Krishna follows the rules. So what is action and action in inaction? This is another very important thing. It's saying the intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what is action, what is forbidden action, and what is inaction. This we already learned yesterday, and the shloka is over here. Karmano hi abhi bodhavyam cha vikarmanam ahankara manascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. So here it's saying what is action, what is forbidden action, and what is inaction. So we will just read this last slide, which is about how karma and akarma work, where akarma are acts all done in Krishna consciousness, and in akarma there is no desire for sense gratification, and he enjoys the transcendental happiness as a result of this. In case of somebody who's following karma, he works with attachment, he is according to Shastras, and he has good reactions. In case of Vikarma, work with attachment, he is doing against injunctions. This is wrong. And also he'll have bad reaction. So karma means good reaction. Vikarma means bad reaction. Krishna karma means it's transcendental happiness. We should remember this. That's it. What is the aim of all the sacrifices? When we do sacrifice, we are able to control our senses. When we do sacrifices, we are free from sinful reactions. When we do sacrifices, we are happy in our next life. So we are giving away, we are not holding it hard and tight in our hands, rather we are giving it away. It will help us in our next life. And we will get transcendental knowledge. By giving things to others, we'll get transcendental knowledge. What is the aim of the sacrifice? It is because it suits different types of workers as per Vedas. That's why we should perform sacrifices by controlling our senses, by not lying, by being good people. This will help us in being happy in our next life, and it will be helping us gain transcendental knowledge. And this is very important shloka. How to approach a guru? If you see, Krishna and Balramji also approached a guru. They also took the assistance from a guru, saying, Tatvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. So just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. So Krishna is saying you should take the shelter of a guru. It's very important. Be humble and submissive to a guru and take a shelter of the guru. And this is Sandipani Muni, who is the guru of Krishna and Balramji. All right, thank you very much for listening so patiently. Let us all chant once. You can all chant once. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Rama Rama, Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.